Well, it happened again. My designs got stolen by the same freaking people. Now, I wasn't very happy, so I'm spilling every damn drop of tea. Here's the factory that decided they loved my poopy loop designs so much that they'd also like to sell them. Now, I'm a Virgo, and I like to organize my revenge, so I sent them a little heads up to let them know that I'm warning everyone who will listen. By the way, hi, my name is Lita, and I sell these adorable poopy loops that clip to your dog's leash and hold your used poop bags. As you can see, I have a ton of designs, and I'm sick of copycats because these are my babies. How
much is she making from this?
So it's like a double insult. Here's a quick rundown on how they work. You just put your used poop bags through here and until you find a trash can, and you're all set. Now, I sent a few more messages letting them know I was freaking serious, and while I wait for their response, I'd love if you'd follow me along on this revenge.
I'm not saying this isn't a lot of work or it's stupid. What I'm saying is this is brilliant in how small and simple it is. To ship this has got to be like $3 to $4. To make it 10 cents, where is her website? Okay, not bad, $10. Yeah, that's nice. A bat, $10. You have a $10 widget, but then you have a $68 sweater, $42 t-shirt. The pricing is all over the place on this website. $40 hat, and these glass. Oh, if you haven't drank coffee out of one of these glass jars, when you drink out of a glass straw, there's no flavor added as you're pulling the liquids up, and it tastes a million times better. If you drink coffee out of a plastic straw or a paper straw or a metal straw, those flavors are added into the drink as you're drinking it. Use a glass straw. They're way better. Free shipping on orders over $75. Jake Day here. Welcome back. Today we're going to be covering artists who have had their art stolen. Everyone featured in this video, I will include a link to down below in the description if you want to follow them and watch their videos. Don't forget to like the video and let's go.
I want artists to understand that this is something that could happen to them. I want them to know how to protect their art. I want these companies to be held accountable.
That's Crystal Cox of New Berlin, who says her artwork was sold in big box stores around the world without her permission.
Yeah, our Mira Hubbard uncovers what happened to Crystal and how it's impacting artists across the country.
Crystal Cox enjoys the peaceful process of creating art. But what happened after she made this design spooked her?
Would you ever had guessed what kind of whirlwind that it would cause now?
No, not at all. I went through like every emotion in like a minute flat. You know, it was like shock, denial, anger,
Pride.
a strange sense of like, oh, but then no.
Crystal posted spooky scoops on her Instagram back in 2023. But 2 years later, Crystal's fans and friends sent her these pictures. A 3D version of Spooky Scoops on shelves at TJ Maxx and Marshall's. The product sold all over the world without her permission.
Everything that I make and create, I'm putting a piece of myself into that. That's my idea, that's my vision, it's how I see the world. So when you have someone just kind of trample over it like that, it hurts. It genuinely hurts. And it did really hurt me. I'm getting a little emotional talking about it because it just felt really lousy. Yeah, it just kind of makes you feel small.
Powerless is what it would make me feel. I think these stories are going to be popping up less and less because these companies can always just create AI designs. In fact, let's see if we can create one right now. A spooky cartoon version of a ice cream cart. Owner is ghosts. Cart is spooky scoops. It should be good. All right, not bad. Let's give it a little more color. All right, there we go. There we go. Not a bad recreation. Now, just for fun, let's make it a hot dog stand. Ooh, they're going to double our pleasure. Pretty much the same image, other than the shade being alternating colors, which is the same as we have on this one, the orange and yellow. It's one of those spot the difference games from elementary school. What's the difference here? This one has a wheel. This one has a peg. Whatever. If there's any more, put them down in the comments.
And to add insult to injury, while all this unfolded, Crystal's father lost his battle to cancer.
He was a really cool dad.
A dad who pushed her to fight this battle for something she loves.
He was as angry as I was, and he encouraged me to fight it.
That's exactly what she's doing, fighting for compensation. Crystal teamed up with Justice for Artists, a company that connects artists with lawyers for copyright infringement cases.
We only pursue cases that we know we're going to win.
Owner Dan Lockman sees cases like Crystal's all the time, like Millie, who settled with Urban Outfitters for using her designs, or Rachel, who settled with Claire's for a counterfeit of her hair clip design, and Scott, who got a settlement from Amazon Marketplace for a counterfeit of his sculpture.
The U.S. copyright system is
that is the exact same.
Is different than most of the world.
By law, Crystal became the copyright owner as soon as she created the design. However, she did not have a registered copyright on it until this year. Registering your work offers the ability to sue for copyright infringement in federal court.
In Crystal's case, she copyrighted her art after the infringement took place. So she's going to only be entitled to total profits that were garnered during the sale.
Again, Crystal received messages from people all over the world, sending her images of this 3D Spooky Scoops cart on the shelves of not only TJ Maxx and Marshalls, but also international stores like TK Maxx and HomeSense. All of these stores are owned by TJX companies. I reached out to them for information on how much of this was sold, how it was manufactured, and why they didn't get permission from Crystal. I got a response saying that they are in communication with the artist's attorney and that they wouldn't comment publicly on the matter.
I think a lot of these companies want these smaller artists to just go away, to just feel like, what are you going to do?
Crystal, finding a new voice.
We need to start stepping up and saying, stop. You got to stop doing this.
And fighting the battle her father wanted.
I know he's rooting for me still.
Reporting in New Berlin, Meryl Hubbard, TMJ4 News.
So Crystal's attorney tells us that the two parties are still negotiating with no resolution yet. It could be months before Crystal receives any sort of answers or form of compensation on this.
So remember how I said I'd use my copyright until the day I die? Well, yeah, we're gonna have to use that copyright again, friends, because somebody else stole my design. Honestly, I'm just debating. I'm considering deleting my RedBubble entirely because this is the second time that somebody has stolen my design on that platform. And this time it just wasn't one listing, it was multiple listings. I had to go through that person's account to find every single item that they have listed in their shop with my design on it. And if you were curious how many things, this is all the listings that they had. There was multiple. So I just submitted the proper forms with RedBubble, and let's see how this goes. And also, this is a PSA to anyone out in the world who is going to steal my design. Unless you want to be sued and pay for my student loans, do not steal my artwork. Thank you. This is your warning. Have a nice day. So remember how I said I'd use my copyright?
I like her.
Simp! Simp! If you've ever so much even said a nice thing to a woman, simp. That's right, you're a simp.
I almost bought it, and then I realized that I could probably just make it myself.
Okay, so this video came across my feed. This girl was going to buy this print online, but instead she decided to make her own, and she used the design as inspiration. The original was just like a digital print, and then this is hers. She ended up using this practical card deck, so these are like real cards that she had. But the part that interested me is there's a little debate going on in the comments about whether or not this is considered stealing. And as a creative person myself, I found this whole topic really interesting. So in my opinion, like, is this considered stolen art? I actually don't think so. Just for reference, I'm not a visual artist, I'm just a writer. But I do know a lot about copyright law, and I also just want to talk about like the ethics of the situation. I think the first thing to bear in mind here is you actually cannot copyright an idea. Like the abstract idea, you can only copyright a very, very specific execution of that idea. So for example, I'm just gonna reference like movies for a second because that's the medium I mostly work in. So let's say I have an idea for a movie. The movie's about a nun, and the nun goes to a new convent, and there's like all this shady stuff going on, and it turns out she might be pregnant with the Antichrist. Now there's 2 movies in theaters right now that are more or less that same idea. And that's because you can't copyright that idea. You can only copyright your exact version of it.
Do you remember the year Deep Impact and Armageddon came out? Which, by the way, I don't care what anyone says. I'm on Team Deep Impact. I think that was a better movie. Am I crazy, or was there like a 2 or 3 year time span where there was a bunch of disaster movies that came out? There was Dante's Peak, Volcano, Twister. I'm sure there was like 20 others.
Going back to the art piece, like this artist cannot copyright the idea of like cards being displayed, and then one of them is face up. Now, if somebody took this like exact design and like put it on a shirt and was, you know, selling that, that would be clear copyright infringement. But let's talk about the ethics, because there were also a lot of comments saying like this person deserves financial compensation. I still don't know that I would go that far. Let's use movies again as an example. So like a lot of the most famous cinematographers in the world will use specific paintings and, you know, art pieces to reference like exact shots in their movies. Sometimes you'll see them lined up and they're like the same, but like the thing you're making is different. Your movie has characters that aren't in the painting, you know, it's a different location. You're being influenced by the art, but you're creating something new by sort of remixing it. In this situation specifically, she's making something for her home, which I also think makes a difference. It's not like she's like mass producing this. It is a singular homemade item and she's using like her own custom materials to make it. So yeah, I don't think anything nefarious was done here. I think, you know, I think the artist does deserve an inspiration credit, and that's it.
Do not buy diamond art from this company on the TikTok shop. They are thieves. They have stolen designs and selling them as their own.
Precious.
Many of you know I designed these pictures with a company called MXDP Art. And in their advert, they are using my pictures with my name on it and with MXDP Art's name on it.
Ballsy.
So that would make people think, oh, this is a nice luxury canvas. It's on a velvet canvas. It's been designed by Sam and MXDP Art. No, this is what's arrived. My name isn't on it. It's on a horrible basic canvas. The colour is faded, but it is my design.
Terrible.
It is my design. So I know some of you loved these. MXDP Art are closed. They held the copyright, so I can't even do anything. All right. So all I'm asking is do not buy diamond art pictures from this company, because other pictures I've seen on the website are also designs from other people. Okay.
Jeez.
Do not buy from this diamond art company. The 7,400 of you that have, I'm so sorry, but you have bought yourself stolen designs. I've sent a report to TikTok. I've sent everything that I can. And I'm hoping this video will reach enough people to get this shop taken down. If you're going to steal my ideas, then don't use my adverts with my name on it.
Yeah, that's brutal.
So I had a meltdown last night, crying, everything. So I'm a little better today, but last night I just got a DM from a customer who let me know that one of my artworks is being sold on Amazon. Sorry, let me introduce myself. I am Serena. I'm a freelance graphic designer. I also make my own art and I sell it on Etsy. And I only sell it on Etsy. So now, which I am finding out, my artwork is being ripped off and being sold on Amazon, Shein. Temu, even a Walmart.
TikTok shop.
I just went on Amazon.
Etsy.
I started reporting all the listings. I found about 8. I'm just so overwhelmed, and I haven't even tackled Temu.
And that's just the ones she can find.
I haven't even tackled Temu. Temu has like 15. So please, if you see any of my artwork, please let me know. I only sell on Etsy. Please report it. And if anybody else has suggestions, please let me know. I'm a small business. I just sell my artwork, and like this is really affecting me.
Here's the problem I have with all of this. The platforms know that more than half the stuff they're selling is likely stolen or repurposed. But what are they going to do about it? They're making their money. Everybody who's working there is making their money. They're getting their percentage and they're walking away with it. These businesses are shrewd and they're going to do whatever they can get away with. They don't care, to be fair, unless it negatively impacts their company's long-term goals, which is profitability. I always operate under the assumption that there is no protection. There is no big brother that's coming to help and save you. I don't get it. It's not even that good of a design. Is this some sort of satanic symbol thing?
If you follow me, you probably recognize this print. It went a little viral and brought a lot of new people to my page. And if you haven't seen it on my page, you may have seen it on one of the hundreds of dropship companies that have stolen it and are selling. Hi, I have an update to the stolen art video, and there's a little good, but it mostly sucks. If you don't know what I'm talking about, go watch the first video. It explains everything. The sucky part is that the design theft has only gotten worse. There's so much more of it than there was before. And as I said in the first video, as soon as I would report something, you know, whether it's on social media or Etsy, it would pretty much pop right back up, and I just don't have that kind of time to just like play whack-a-mole. And also, it was really affecting my mental health negatively. Like, this whole situation was really making me upset and depressed. So I tried to put it out of my mind as best I could, and I applied for copyright. Technically, an artwork is copyrighted from the moment you make it, but I thought it would be a good idea to threaten people with, because it's more official, and also because if a big company decides to steal the design, then I would have it and be able to take legal action if that's would be even possible. So some good news.
It's like artistry as a lottery. Spooky Cart Girl, get that bread. Get at least 100K. And if you can pay off the house, even better.
It's that I did get the copyright. There's the envelope from the Library of Congress. And I do think it's really funny that my Pickle Slut print is in a file at the Library of Congress. Now for some more bad news. In the last week or so, I've been tagged in a lot of TikToks of people selling my design on shirts and sweatshirts. And a lot of these people have messaged me and been like, I didn't know I bought this as a PNG on Etsy.
That's what I was going to say. Now that you have the copyright, sell it as a PNG for people to reuse and put on shirts, put on hats, that you're getting a penny, 2 pennies for every single one that gets sold. I mean, scale wise, get a bunch of good designs, sell those designs, make money off of the merchandise being sold by other people, assuming you just want to be an artist.
So these shops are licensing stolen designs to people for like $2. It just makes me so sad because like I hand draw and print every design. Like, it is what I love to do, but it's also how I make a living. This is how I feed myself and pay my rent. It's like, it's not a side hustle, and even though I really do take a lot of joy in it. And the worst part of all of this is it's starting to taint something that I find so much joy and silliness in. Like, I hope I don't have to make any more videos about this because I really fucking hate it. Like, I want my page to be silly and fun and a place to like be goofy and like goof around.
Okay, this video isn't as exciting, but I just need to put this out there because it's been a worry on my mind. I'm gonna go through a little story time here, but please stick with me to the end. Basically what I'm asking is please don't steal my designs. About a year ago, I put a video up on here about my best-selling sticker. And I said, this is my best-selling sticker. This is how much I've made on it. This is how many I've sold. And everyone was like, oh my God. And it's really like this one sticker was keeping me in business. It was like literally feeding me and my kid.
Wow.
And what happens when you have a popular product is people want to steal it. They want to copy it. And I had someone copy it, and this person, their brand is a little larger than mine on Etsy and on their website and on Fair Wholesale. They copied my exact design and they sold it for cheaper. And my income on that sticker dropped 50%.
Jesus.
It was a big womp womp.
Terrible.
So that gave me pause. I sent a message to the woman. I said, hey, you stole my sticker design. Can you please take this down? And she wrote back very meanly that she was not going to take it down. So this year, I know you're thinking, well, you made the design, like get lawyers involved or something. I kind of tried. I tried to trademark it this year, that sticker. This whole process, I started in the beginning of January. It was my goal. I was like, this is my goal. I'm going to put all this money into trademarking this to hopefully gain money back. I got a message back from the trademark office about a month ago that there were a bunch of hiccups and I was going to have to pay more money to have a lawyer help me push this through, and I just don't have it, so I'm dropping it. But all this to say, I love sharing these videos with you. I love showing you how I make crafts because I've put so much time and so much money and so much energy into figuring out not only the best products that work for stickers and cards and bookmarks and this and that, but also the best way to go about it. And I feel like I've looked up how to do all these things, and I've taken pieces of this video and pieces of this video mixed with my trial and error. It really affects me, and it gives me pause, and it makes me not want to share things.
So in 2017, I self-published this adult coloring book. I also released it as an art print without the text here. Pretty soon I started to get messages from my followers saying that my artwork is being sold by other companies. Obviously they were selling it without my permission. So I ended up sending a few cease and desist letters, and it did work, but I never got compensated. Afterwards, I learned that it's actually better not to send out cease and desist letters if you're hoping to build a case. A few years later, I get an email from Edwin James. So they reached out to me saying that they might be able to build a case because my artwork was sold without my permission by all these sellers and companies. And it went great. I finally got compensated for my work, for this artwork. So I think what ended up happening was that someone took my artwork and they uploaded it to one of these copyright-free sites. If a company is using your artwork, they might think that they are allowed to use it. It is important, if you are using copyright-free sites, you still kind of have to double check that you can use the image, because you can't be for sure. You don't know who uploaded that image there. Unfortunately, there isn't really much you can do to protect your work. You can throw a watermark on it, but even today with the AI, I'm pretty sure you can just remove it. So it's not gonna help much. So yeah, I'm sorry if that was kind of a bummer.
Lace choker necklace, shout out. That's 2 days in a row. Let's go. Bring them back.
Okay, if you guys remember when I released this hand-drawn coloring book a few weeks ago, self-published, so excited. Last week I noticed there was a ton of ones with the same title, which I had not seen the title. And I didn't trademark the title, so it's not a big deal. I really don't care, but it just came after mine and I was like, okay. So I ordered one. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna order one just to see. I did not think the inside would be replicas. This is my work. Wow. This is my work. Being sold on Amazon from another person.
It's kind of
and
basic
there's tons more on there. There's one publisher that has is selling like 5 or so Coffee Than Color with Jesus. And I haven't ordered those and I'm scared to. But I've had people copy me before and try to recreate my stuff. Never had it blatantly stolen and made money off of it.
Straight up.
This has never happened to me. So if you want to support the original, make sure you go to the link in my bio. Other than that, copycats are gonna copy.
Hi everyone. I'm doing this video because I can't actually cope anymore.
Huntrix.
With this. So as some of you know, this is my design. This is it on my Instagram, reposted with a watermark. I've just taken down 2, but these are all different listings on TikTok shop. I have done the takedown with the report form with TikTok shop, and this morning I've just received 5 of these or more emails saying thank you for reaching out, blah blah blah, and bringing this to attention. Based on the information provided, we are unable to verify that the report, listing or content has infringed on our intellectual property rights. and I don't understand why they can verify that one was infringing my rights, but the rest weren't, when all of the information I provided was the same.
My guess is the whole thing was automated by bots and not a single human being took a look at those listings.
And I sent images of sketches with the image itself being made, and I don't know what else I can send as proof. I send the actual high-res image. I really don't know what else they need as proof at this point. Yeah, but this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13,
Good grief.
14 listings on TikTok Shop.
Oh, and it's TikTok Shop. I wouldn't even realize that. I was thinking it was Etsy the whole time. You're screwed.
Last week, I found 2 stores stealing a bunch of my designs on Etsy. Now, as disheartening as this experience is, it's unfortunately not the first time I've had this happen in the 2.5 years I've been selling on the marketplace. Today, I want to walk you guys through exactly how I handled this situation, in hopes that maybe if you ever find yourself in a similar position, you know how to advocate for yourself and protect your work. If you come across a seller on Etsy who is selling a listing that looks suspiciously similar to your own, the first thing you're going to want to do is message them. In situations like these, it's really easy to let our emotions get the best of us, so I typically head into ChatGPT. After sending the evidence, I ask it to create a message that I can send to that Etsy seller requesting that they remove the listings. Once you've sent that message, you wait with a pit in your stomach. It's not fun. Usually the seller is going to respond in 24 hours because, let's be real, everybody wants star seller status. What they are going to do is either 1, apologize and take the listings down, or 2, they are going to fight you on it. Last week, I am very grateful that both of these sellers that I messaged were apologetic, they were willing to work with me, and they removed the listings very promptly. As much as this sucks, and as much as I wish this was common sense, oftentimes new sellers on Etsy's marketplace might not understand that they have to craft something original and unique to list in their own shops, or they're getting really bad advice from other creators who are maybe encouraging them to just look at bestsellers and copy what they're doing. That is obviously not allowed. Once you create a design, it is your intellectual property and you deserve to be able to protect it. But I will say I always try to give those new sellers some grace, because I don't think a lot of times they're trying to be malicious in selling stolen art.
Oh, sweet summer child. Do you really think that?
Sometimes you are going to get a seller who does not want to cooperate with you. They're going to argue, they're going to tell you the design isn't stolen, they're going to tell you that they made changes to the design or it's their own. You're stealing it from them. At that point, you can escalate it via Etsy's reporting system. Etsy has an intellectual property reporting system where you can actually click into that seller's listing and report it to Etsy, at which point Etsy will remove the listing. Now, unfortunately, Etsy sellers can counter those notices. And at that point, if that happens, you will have to get an attorney involved to send a formal cease and desist. This is obviously not fun for anybody who's involved, and it is a complete gut punch whenever you see your listings being replicated. That being said, I want to remind you guys not only to protect your intellectual property and advocate for your shops, but also to just operate your businesses with morals and not copy other sellers' designs.
Thanks for watching. If you made it this far, make sure to subscribe to the channel, give the video a like, and check out this video right here. YouTube thinks that you will enjoy it. See ya.